guys, it's Jamie. Today I'm doing a 6x12 layout using a kit. This is from Kitaholics kits. I bought this a few weeks ago and I've only used a sheet of paper out of it. I'm just looking through because I wanted to challenge myself to only use this kit. This is the main kit, and I believe it was an embellishment add-on as well. This was in a sale, so I was challenging myself to only use this, and that also meant that I was going to use patterned paper for my background. So like I've done a couple of times when I've done pattern paper backgrounds, I do 6x12s because I find them easier, and then I also typically use mixed media because I also find that easier. I feel very comfortable doing mixed media because, you know, you can cover up what you're doing, and pattern paper is very intimidating to me. So I'm going through my stencil storage. This is a new one that I bought for my birthday. Majority of my stencils are from eBay. I just buy them in those like packs where it's like a pack of 10 or something, and I'm going to use some modeling paste and my palette knife and just drag it through. This modeling paste is from Montmartre, but I'm not sure. I've used one of these before and it was very like whiffy and nice and hard, but this one feels very like soft. I'm not sure if maybe it's because it's starting to get really hot here in Australia that maybe it's melting. I don't know, or it could be that it was sitting on the shelf for a long time, but it's just not as hard as it was. So I might have to look into maybe buying another one, because this one's just really hard to use. It's so runny. Just pulling it through with the palette knife, and I'm using it as sort of a textural element in the background for the photo to actually sit on, because this is where my photo is going to go. I will say this, if you've never used modeling paste before and you're gonna try it out, make sure you clean it up straight away because it will ruin your stencil. The very first time I started doing mixed media, didn't clean it up for maybe 20 minutes and I couldn't use that stencil again because it would never come off. It just sets like a rock. Also with your palette knife, clean your palette knife. A quick lazy way that I do, you're about to see, is use some baby wipes. I do go wash these about a week later. I washed it, but doing it with the baby wipe does get off most of the stuff and it's not too, you know, you're not going to wreck it. So I would recommend doing that. Baby wipes are great for all mixed media, so you'll see me use those a fair bit if you go back and look at any of my old videos. But I'm going to go dry this off camera because the mixed media, this modeling paste, does take a fair while to dry. So I've just used my hairdryer and I'm just trimming down the photo. And as you can see by the title of this video, I do a really silly title for this one because he is sleeping like a silly person. This cat, he's my boyfriend's cat, and he sleeps so strange. He always sleeps on his back with like his tummy in the air, and he's got his paws in random places, and I've never seen a cat do that, so I always love to take photos of him. So I'm just matting this photo with some light pink tissue paper because I started to think, okay, yeah, I'll just do the paper, and I thought, you know what, let's use all the pattern paper. Let's use everything that we can and just go for it, because why not? This is the 6x6 paper pad. All the papers in this collection, in this kit, were actually from Chasing Dreams by Maggie Holmes, which I had anyway. So I just was using that up rather than destroying the big 12x12s. I know that's kind of dodging the challenge that I made for myself a little bit, but I'm really trying to get through my 6x6 paper pads. That's why I've been getting into doing like snail mail and mini albums again, because I have so many 6x6 paper pads. Like for my stash, which is very small, I have like 30 6x6 paper pads, which is just too many. I only have a tiny little crafty area in my bedroom, so I'm needing to get through some stuff. So I'm just matting all of my paper with double-sided tape, and I will use wet glue to stick this down. I love this floral paper. I think it's definitely Maggie Holmes. I think it's either Chasing Dreams or Carousel. I'm not 100% sure, but it's really, really nice, and I'm using it as an extra paper layer. And then for even more effect on this layout, I decided to use foam tape to puff up the photo because it did feel like it was sinking in. And throughout this whole process, I was so nervous doing it, and I'm like, I don't like this. I just don't enjoy making pattern paper layouts. I love looking at them. I think they're so pretty, and I wish I could do that kind of thing, but for me, I feel like I just can't make it work. But I will say that the end result, I think it's cute. I just think I could do something so much nicer if I was more confident doing pattern paper, which is why I'm challenging myself to do pattern paper. This is a Paige Evans sticker book, I think, or is it Shamil? I'm not sure. If you go back to before, you'll see what it is, and I was just looking through it. These are Dear Lizzie thickers, and I really liked these. These all came in the kit, and I decided to go with the title, You Are One Silly Sleeper. I like doing fun titles because I think when you're flicking through your album, I looked back on my 2015 album the other day, and I had a few of these like really strange titles, and it was just so nice because I think it tells more of a story rather than just like, you know, funny or lovely or darling. I like having those funny titles that tell a story. I'm also going to use these black alphas in the back because I didn't want to have the whole title in those stickers because I thought it would be way too much in your face, because they are, you know, all different colors. I tried to grab the ones that were blue and pink because it's hard to tell in the video, but that pattern paper actually has pink lines through it. So I'm just sticking it down, and as you can see, You Are One Silly Sleeper. So I'm going to go through the little die cut pack that comes with the kit. I'm going to assume that they cut these out on like Cameo or something. They're really, really nice. I'd love to know where they got them, but I'm pretty sure they cut them out on like a silhouette or something, just because I've never seen anything like this before. So that's my guess. I really like the hearts that came with it. They like kind of look like they're like sketchy, like, you know, someone has sketched them, and I really like that look. I was going to try and use that banner, but alas, it didn't make it onto the layout. This came with a lot of tiny word stickers as well in this little die cut pack, but I just decided to use the 7 paper ones that you can see in that top corner over there, and I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to do my embellishment clusters before I decide to stick the title down. This is a really awesome technique I would recommend, which is using the clear packaging to position your alphas before you stick it down, because you know what it's going to look like, you know you're going to be happy with it, and it also helps to get them straight. So what I do is I just do like the bottom maybe quarter of the alpha and just stick it down. I fiddle around a lot here trying to fix these, so I just decided to cut it out of the video because it took me way too long. So here I am sticking down all of the little die cut pieces just with my wet glue, because it's so much easier, I think, when you're unsure of how a layout's going to go if you just use the wet glue, because you just have to commit to it. Once it's down, it's down. I'm just pulling off as many things from this sticker book as I could, trying to make it work. The color scheme that I was going for, it was blue and pink, and I just tried to make everything go on this layout. I'm using some more foam tape just to pop up this little blue camera. I actually quite like that blue camera. But this layout was a lot of fun to make, something that I think I would recommend to people who are getting, bored with their scrapbooking or wanting to try something new, would be 6x12 layouts. They're a lot harder than they look, I think, because it's such a different page layout than what you're used to, and you really have to think about what you're doing. It's a fun challenge to do a 6x12, so give one a go. They're really easy to store as well because they take up half as much space as a 12x12. You're going to use half as many supplies, so if you want to stretch your stash, a 6x12 layout is pretty good for that. I'm sticking down the puffy stickers. They are Maggie Holmes. I put down a little bow, and because I was still very worried about this layout, I decided to do a doodly border because they kind of make me calm down when I'm doing layouts. So I'm just using a pen, and when I do a doodly border, I go once down the layout, once up the layout. It gives kind of a nice texture to it. You could also stitch that if you wanted to. I think that'd be fun. I'm so happy that this kit came with wood veneer because that is my most favorite thing to put on a layout. It came with wood veneer and also like little resin epoxy things. So I'm grabbing out everything that I thought I could use in the colors of black, blue, pink, and I also think there's like a shimmery, like coppery one, which I thought was a really nice inclusion. So I go with some hearts and some stars, and I'm just going to trickle them all over the page with some wet glue and stick them down. Always use a heavy duty glue when you're sticking down wood veneer or resin pieces, just because they will fall out. I've gone through albums where I didn't use that and I thought that double-sided tape would work, and it doesn't. You need to use heavy duty just because it's a heavier embellishment, so you need a stronger adhesive. And then I'm also going to add a couple of these like tiny phrase stickers from this sticker book and stick those down. I like this now that I'm looking back at it and doing the voiceover. When I had done it, I was a bit unsure about it, but I think it's kind of cool. It's a very whimsical layout and will look definitely very different in my stash. I'm sticking down these little enamel stickers. I love these. I want a million of them. I love the heart shape. I love that heart shape. I think it's so pretty. And then I'm also going to stick down these little chipboard tiny word stickers. These are really, really nice. I like them. I've never seen anything like them. They're from Studio Calico, but yeah, I like that they're chipboard because they give an extra dimension to the layout, which is really nice. I'm sticking them down with some wet glue as well because I was a bit uncertain of the adhesive quality on them because they didn't feel that sticky, and you know, you can always add extra adhesive, it doesn't really matter. But that's pretty much this layout done. I also grab a little bit of a gold spray and I'm just splattering them around, but this is the layout. I hope you enjoyed, guys, and thanks for watching. Bye.